If the Siren seduces through fantasy and the Coquette through withdrawal, the charmer seduces through ease. Their power isn't loud or aggressive. It's quiet, fluid, and disarming. Where others seek control, the charmer seeks harmony. Where others assert themselves, they dissolve resistance through grace. The charmer's strength lies in one of the rarest human abilities, to make others feel at peace with themselves. They are not threatening, not demanding, not self-centered. They create a world where people can drop their defenses, and in that world, desire and trust grow naturally. What separates the charmer from every other archetype is their emotional intelligence. They understand the rhythm of people's moods, the subtleties of tone, the insecurities that hide behind confidence. While the Rake excites and the Coquette frustrates, the charmer calms. They know that real seduction isn't just about arousing lust. It's about making someone feel seen, understood, and accepted. Charmers are social magicians. They have an instinct for tuning into others, mirroring their energy, and gently guiding the emotional current of a room. They can make the powerful feel respected and the insecure feel valued. They know how to flatter without it seeming false, how to compliment without losing authenticity. They have the rare ability to make self-interest feel like generosity. Think of Cleopatra again, but this time through her charm. She made men feel important. She listened, she laughed, she admired, and she let them believe that their presence elevated her. Napoleon Bonaparte's second wife, Empress Marie-Louise, used charm in a similar way. Her sweetness melted the temper of a man known for conquest. She didn't fight for attention. She made attention seem like a gift she offered willingly. The charmer operates on the principle of emotional reciprocity. They know that people are rarely drawn to those who are needy. We are drawn to those who seem emotionally abundant. People who give freely of their attention and warmth without asking for anything in return. The charmer's secret is this: they never chase validation. They give it. In psychology, this is the power of positive reinforcement. When you make someone feel good in your presence, they associate you with emotional reward. You become a safe space in a world full of ego and competition. The charmer doesn't dominate, they invite. They make others open up, confess, reveal, and in doing so, they gain access to emotional intimacy without ever forcing it. Where the coquette wields distance like a weapon, the charmer uses closeness like a bomb. They touch lightly, laugh easily, and empathize deeply. They have mastered the subtle art of attention, genuine, undivided attention. In an age where everyone's distracted, that kind of focus feels intoxicating. The charmer's presence is often described as magnetic, but it's not magic. It's mindfulness. They have learned to silence their ego enough to truly listen. Most people listen only to reply. The charmer listens to connect. Their gaze, their tone, their timing, everything about them says, "You matter," and that message is irresistible. However, the charmer's greatest strength is also their most dangerous weapon. They make you forget your defenses. You relax, you feel safe, you trust them. That's when they can guide your emotions, your decisions, even your desires, without you realizing it. This isn't manipulation in the crude sense. It's influence born of empathy. Charmers like Benjamin Disraeli, the British Prime Minister, used this to win over even his enemies. He flattered Queen Victoria, not with shallow praise, but with emotional understanding. He saw her loneliness, her need to feel admired without being objectified, and he filled that void. That's how the charmer operates. They read emotional hunger and feed it gently. To become a charmer in your own life, you must first understand people, not superficially, but psychologically. Observe without judgment. Listen more than you speak. When you talk, make it about them. Ask questions that reveal who they are. Mirror their pace, their tone, their energy. Make them feel safe enough to drop the persona they show the world. Charm isn't about perfection, it's about comfort. You don't need to be the most attractive person in the room. You need to be the one who makes others feel attractive, intelligent, and interesting. The charmer's goal isn't to impress, it's to inspire openness. People remember less what you said and more how you made them feel. True charm is subtle power disguised as kindness. It's the ability to lead through warmth rather than dominance. It's why people follow charismatic figures, not because they fear them, but because they feel understood by them. But like all seductive power, charm has its shadow. When used without integrity, it becomes manipulation. The charmer who flatters insincerely, who promises without meaning, who mimics empathy to gain advantage. That's when charm turns toxic. It becomes emotional deceit. That's why authenticity matters. The most powerful charmers are not liars. They're emotionally intelligent realists. They understand people's weaknesses, but don't exploit them cruelly. Their seduction feels like connection, not deception. When used ethically, charm becomes an art of mutual uplift. Both people walk away feeling better. In daily life, being a charmer means learning the rhythm of human interaction. Timing matters. Speak when silence grows heavy, and stay silent when words would only clutter the moment. Smile when tension rises. Use humor to soften confrontation. Use empathy to diffuse ego. A charmer knows that emotions, not logic, move people, so they communicate in feeling, not facts. They don't argue to win. They empathize to influence. When someone feels heard, they become open to suggestion. That's persuasion in its most elegant form. If you want to embody this archetype, start by removing the noise of self-absorption. Stop trying to be impressive. Be present. When you meet someone, act as if there's nothing more interesting in the world than what they're saying. Let your attention be undivided, your curiosity sincere, your words gentle but deliberate. The charmer doesn't conquer hearts, they invite them to open. Their seduction isn't a chase, it's a welcome. And in a world full of aggression and anxiety, that kind of calm power is irresistible. Charm is about creating emotional ease in others while maintaining psychological command of yourself. It's a paradox to lead by yielding, to dominate by soothing, to influence without appearing to. That's why it's one of the most refined and timeless forms of seduction. In every era, from the royal courts to social media, the charmer thrives. They adapt, they blend, they smile, and somehow people find themselves drawn closer without understanding why. It's not sorcery. It's human nature being understood at its most subtle level. Because beneath all the armor people wear, beneath the ego, the pride, the ambition, everyone just wants to feel seen, accepted, and safe. And the charmer offers that feeling better than anyone else. They make the world less sharp, less cold, less lonely. That's their gift, their power, and their danger.